Hey beautifuls, it's Preem. Let's chit chat for a minute, and then I'm gonna get into the commentary of Mule's Mammy's Mule's Mammy, a Mule Mammy or Pick Me, which is a blog that is on my blog, oceanofdaughters.com. You can go and check that out. But what I usually do is I write a blog and come and do some commentary here on YouTube. So that's a blog that I wrote. And I'm gonna get into that commentary, but first let's just have a little chit chat because I came over here furious. I came over here furious with that message about people having to pay for the harms they do against black women. And really, I just wanted to set that curse out. Really, I just wanted to set that curse out of my mouth and into these into the atmosphere, and I shared it on YouTube. I wanted that curse to come out of my mouth, and I wanted people to hear it, and I wanted it to set into the memory of black women, and I wanted it to set onto the souls of those who need to pay. Okay, so that's why I came last night. It's I'm gonna post this in the morning time, well, in the morning, but it's 1:19 a.m. 1:19 a.m. on Tuesday right now is when I'm recording this. And then last night I recorded it might have, well, that was this, yeah, last night about 4 o'clock in the morning I recorded that everybody, y'all gonna pay. You're gonna pay. And I was not talking to the ladies specifically here who come here and who are not who are very conscious about how they treat black women and handling themselves first with care, and then handling the rest of black women that they encounter with care. So it was not to you beautifuls. It was just a curse I had to get out. I had to get it off my chest. If you're keeping up with my personal life and the little bit that I've shared about my personal life, you know that I took my daughter just now entered college. So I have not been here. I've not been blogging much, and I've not really been here to do commentary for my latest blog. But I just now finished a blog, and I'm gonna post that tonight as well. I'm gonna edit it and post it tonight. So you can go and check that out. It's gonna be titled having a baby in Blackistan. No, getting pregnant in Blackistan or having a baby in Blackistan is a death sentence. And yeah, go check that blog out. By the time that you hear this, it should be posted at oceanofdaughters.com. So anyway, I haven't been here. I took my baby down to college, and she's a college student. I mean, I did it. I'm proud of her, and I'm proud of myself, and yeah, we fucking made it. So, and if you are listening to me and you are a mother of a daughter, a single mom of a daughter, and you are raising that baby alone, listen, I'm here to tell you it can be done, sis. You can get this work done. And after it's done, at least getting them off to college, I me and my daughter were very specific about what she chose to study in college to make sure that she could be able to make a living off of what she studies. In 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that it would be a need for what she's studying. Because college is not always, not for everyone. Let me say that. It's not for everyone, but it was for my daughter, and it was also for me. As a single mom, I needed her in my healing to be away. So if you are raising a little girl and you want advice from me, if you do this well and you really put this work in as she's growing up, and you're able to plan a life for her, and you're able to plan a life for her that can free you of the burden of having her in home and raising her. I admit that raising my daughter, I prioritized my daughter first, and she came first in raising her, and it was a detriment to myself and my womanhood. And because I had her so young, I'm now 33 years old now, she's 19, out the house and able to, maneuver life on her own. Of course, I take care of still financially. I send her an allowance, a monthly allowance. But as far as her being here with me all the time and me not even getting a moment to breathe, that's not what's happening. And I advise black women who are raising daughters alone to do that. If you're going to almost die in raising them, right? Then when they get grown or when they get of age to go away to college, I advise you to let them go. If they are still young enough to get scholarships, you start getting scholarships in middle school. Start making them sign up for scholarships. Make sure that they get good grades in grade 6 through 8 and then 9 through 12. Make sure that they're getting good grades. Make sure that you're signing them up for scholarships so that they can get those scholarships based on the fact that they are black and girls. Let them get those scholarships. Let someone else pay for them to go to college and send them to college. Even if you're not able to get them into, if it's too late, if you're signing up for scholarships too late, let them go to college and plan ahead, choose a career for them that they will be able to afford the debt. That the debt won't over career in which they can work off their debt, rather. Some careers that when you go into the field and work in them, the debts can be paid off through work. So look into that if you are a single mom and you're raising girls. And the best thing is when they go to school, of course, you're going to financially still be taking care of them, but to have them out of the house so that you can get a moment to breathe, it is well worth it, because it aids in your healing. Since my daughter has gone to school, well, really since it's been coming a very long time, this healing for myself. And now I just wake up all the time crying. I really wake up and just weep for the woman that really I could have been, and if you are struggling in motherhood, my love and my heart goes out to you. Really. If you're struggling in motherhood, my love and my heart goes out to you. And if you have daughters, you can find some solace in knowing that if you get this done right, she'll be great, and then you can, have a moment to breathe and enough time to heal before you have a fucking heart attack or stroke and die out. You have you have the time to heal. So that's it for the chit chat, right? Let me tell you how I'm gonna do this blog, because I've been working on how I wanted to do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a separate video for each woman. And the first woman I wanted to make a video to is Mule. As I'm going to do it in order. Mule, Mammy, and Pick Me. I think they go in order as far as danger to black women as well. Mule is the least dangerous. Pick Me's are the most dangerous. And Mammy's right up in there, dangerous as fuck too. But mules are going to be the least dangerous. Mules are usually a harm to themselves, right? I was prepped to be a mule. And I was prepped to be a mule because my mom was a mule. Peace and blessings be upon her. Every time I'm speaking to my mother and it feels like it's a negative connotation, I don't even think that it's her. I think that it's just me, and the fact that I know that someone could hear this intimate details of her life and can judge her on it. So peace and blessings be upon her. But my mom, she was a mule. She was my family's go-to. If they needed money, my mother had it. My mother, would go underneath her mattress and give her money. She might get it back, she might not. She now in understanding, she put a lot of her worth on what she could do. And for me, it's a double whammy for me, because not only do I not only do I not only did I have that thought that what I do for others is where my worth is, that's also how I show love. I show love in being of service. Right? So when I love someone, I show them I am able to be of service to them. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a woman, or friends or family. I am usually of service. Combined with being groomed to be a mule, it was just a recipe for disaster. It was just a recipe for disaster. And I think that black women who are muling, this is what it looks like. It looks like, of course, being a financier of your family, right? Everybody comes to you for money. If they need something, as far as money, you got it. And you think in your mind that, it's just money. No, it's just money. Money comes and goes. At least that's what I thought. Money just comes and goes, and for me, money does. It comes and goes. Like I really have not had much trouble in attaining money, but the fact that I was constantly giving it out, the fact that I was constantly giving it away, stopped me from being able to do some of the things in life that I should have did for me and my daughter, which would have been to get out of Blackistan earlier, right? Had I kept my money to myself, I could have gotten out of Blackistan 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I am, in my generation of family, cousins and siblings, I am one of the highest earners. And as a result, I would help cousins and help my sibling and just help. Thought I was helping, but it was really just usury. And I connected my worth to it. How much someone needed me, how much someone called on me to help. I connected my worth to it, and that sure the fuck ain't it. So if you are a mule here and you're listening, that's not it. How you measure your worth as a woman, how you measure being valuable as a woman, is not connected to what you can do for others. It's not connected to what you can do for others. Your worth as a woman, as a black woman, is based on how good you are to yourself. How good you are to yourself. Most mules, they end up dying early, right? Because a literal mule, right, that animal, they live about 50 years, and that was about when my mother lived. My mother lived until 49 years old, and then she had a heart attack and dropped dead in the kitchen. That's my mother's story. She gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left, and she dropped dead in the kitchen. And that's usually how the story of mules go. These women usually have bad hearts. They usually are not in the best health because they are not taking care of themselves. They aren't in the best of health. Their hearts are failing. They may even, of course, they're in high stress situations, so they are more prone to strokes. If they don't actually die a physical death, they stop living. In my weeping over the past couple of months, I just realized, I started to think about my mother and the woman that she was and how little she actually lived. My mother never got on an airplane. My mother lived very little. And actual living and actually having a life worth living, my mother lived very, very, very little. And for me, mules are heartbreaking. Seeing women dedicate themselves to everything outside of themselves, seeing black women dedicate themselves to everything outside of themselves is heartbreaking to me. And I was on that journey. I think that if I can, and it's been a process of stopping the muling. Just now recently I have begun to block family members because as you guys know, because I've shared, I am a divested black woman This is not a divestment channel though, because look, they over there wilding. And I don't want this. I don't want this YouTube channel to be associated with that. They over there wilding. But I myself am a divested woman. So, and as most black women, my first action in being divested was to stop dealing with black men, and that's been done. You know, that's 2 years in the making. But now I'm divesting from my family. And that's divesting, and that's when I'm really realizing how much of a mule I was, and how much my worth really wasn't anything to anybody. How much my worth really wasn't anything to anybody, especially once I started saying no. And I started saying no to people that I felt like loved me, and I loved them. I started saying no to my cousins when they were calling eggs for money. No, I don't have it. And that was it. I didn't give any explanation. I didn't need to explain. You know, my family knows that, you know, I didn't have to write any big checks to my daughter to go to college, because I have bragged about her scholarships. So they know that, you know, they are literally adding up my money. You know what I'm saying? They're literally adding up my money and seeing how it's freeing up and coming to me for financial help. And I am telling them no, and it's changing the dynamics of our relationships. I started blocking my family. I said no to a cousin. And this was my favorite cousin. I said no to her. And she told me, never mind, blocked me on all social media platforms. And at first and in my Mule, and at first I said to her, you know, I know that she's a single mom too. I said, I know that you're going through something right now, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you have it. And then I thought about it, and I said, no, I'm not. I sent her another text message. I said, you know, I'm not going to let you have it. I'm not going to let you have it. I'm not going to let you have this. I'm not going to let me saying no to you one time in your life, literally one time in your life, and you deciding that I was of no use to you. I'm not going to let you have that. I'm not going to take that as a slap on the face and keep on going my day and just forgive you for it. I'm not going to forgive you for it. So she blocked me. I blocked her, and I'm never going to unblock her. And I mean it. I have told my family members, and this is one of my favorite cousins. And I told my family members, I am never going to unblock her. And I mean it. And I mean it. And I'm not. And she's the first of many. She's the first of many. But once I started saying no to people, I realized how little I meant to them, because they were able to decide that since I said no, they didn't need to talk to me anymore. They didn't need to deal with me anymore. Once I said no, there was no more use to me. And this is how mules exist. This is why they never say no. The reason why they don't say no is because they are not able to deal with the fact that you meant nothing to these people. To all my mules listening, that's what you're afraid. That's what you're afraid of, honey. You're afraid that if you say no, you are of no use to these people. That the love for you only extends as far as you say yes. And let me tell you, as a former mule, that's the truth, my dear. They don't value you. They don't love you. They don't value you. And the moment that you say no, they are going to find no more use for you. And you have got to be okay with that. You have got to find the worth in yourself to be okay with that. Okay? And I know that just now hit someone in the gut. I know that someone listening, Mule, just now felt that in her gut, like, damn, you know, because that's how I felt when it happened to me. But I had already been doing the work in myself to love myself enough to be okay with it. And that's what you have to do. You have to realize your worth as a woman. You decide it. You decide what your worth as a woman is. You don't let people outside of you make that decision for you. You decide how worthy you are. Okay? Okay, if you're listening here, You have got to decide your worth as a woman outside of everyone else, and you have to be comfortable with the fact that if you say no to people in self-preservation of yourself and to preserve yourself, you have to be okay with them saying, I have no more use for you. Goodbye. And you have to take that on the chin, and you have to decide, and I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to it. And when they do come back, because they will come back, and this is something that black women like, right? I heard this on another platform about how, something that we always say, oh, they gonna come back. You gonna need me before I need you? Yeah, they are gonna need you before you need them. And you need to say no. When they come back, it is not. When they come back and they let you know, oh, they still need you. Yes, they still need to use you. They still don't find any value in you. But they can still find some use in you. They can still find some use in you. Do not allow people in Blackistan, the black community, to use you up and suck you dry until you die. Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You end up muling, taking care of your entire family on your financial income, and you think that your financial income, because I thought my financial income was good, and it's considered good in the United States of America. They told me that I'm good, right? They told me that according to what I make, I'm good. And I ain't seen it yet. And the reason why I ain't seen it yet, because I've been giving away. I done gave away $20,000 a year. I didn't have to sit down with the fact that I have given away at least $20,000 a year for the last 5 years. I've given away $20,000. What? What? That's crazy. No, you ain't got it. I would really sit and think to myself, Praying, if you don't give this person this, they're going to get evicted. But if you keep it for yourself, all you're going to be able to do with it is be able to buy, I don't know, maybe a pair of fucking Dior sandals. a pair of Dior sandals. If that's what I wanted to spend my fucking money on, I had the right to do it. And I would rationalize in my head that my fucking Dior sandals was not worth as much as their rent that they were about to get put out for. No, my Dior sandals for me was worth that much. I should have bought the fucking sandals. I should have bought the fucking sandals. And that's how it looks. It looks like you minimize what you want, right? Because you probably making enough money now to supply your needs, but you minimize your wants for something that you think is a need for someone else. I did it all the time. That was fucking crazy. You know how many fucking pairs of Dior sandals I would have today? No, not even Dior sandals, but if I would have invested that $710 fucking dollars. Or if I would have saved, if I would have had it today, I could just pack my bags up, pack my little shit up in my apartment, and leave Blackistan and not look back. Today, had I saved those at $20,000 a year that I gave away, that was fucking crazy. And I do wake up some days and I cry about it. I weep about it. I weep about how little I felt about myself. I weep about how little I felt about myself. I really had to come to the conclusion that the difference between the things that I wanted in life, the only thing that stopped me from having them is the fact that I thought I was not worth having them. I thought that I was not worth having them. Also, just a little something that I need to throw in here. This is why it's been so long for me to come with these videos, because these videos were getting very personal, and these blogs are getting very personal, and it was easier for me to talk about divestment, and for me to talk about divestment, and for me to talk about the apes, and for me to talk about whatever the fuck, than for me to talk about the real problem with black women. And one of the real problems with black women is that we do not see ourselves worthy of better. Myself included. Can you imagine a realization that the only thing that's stopping you, black women, if you're listening, the only thing that's stopping you from having what you want is the fact that you don't think that you're worthy. That's what's stopping you. It does not matter what you want. It does not matter what it is in this realm that you want. The only thing that's stopping you from having it is the fact that you do not believe that you're worthy of it. You have to start understanding that you are worth it all. To the mules here listening, you have to start understanding that you are worth it all, and you are worth it, and you don't have to drag anyone else along with you. My mother saw in me, as most loving mothers do, she saw more in me than she saw in herself. I do the same thing with my daughter. I see more in my daughter than I see in myself. I even say out of my mouth that my daughter is the very best part of me. My mother told me, my mother used to give me little bits of advice that she probably should have used herself. But now that I am going where I'm going, I'm able to hear some of the things that she say and understand some of the things that she said and understand it and incorporate it into my life. And my mother used to tell me that, Preem, you cannot drag everyone to the top with you. That was something my mother used to say. You cannot drag everyone to the top with you. And I'm telling you, I tried. I tried to drag everyone to the top with me, and it was just not possible. All it did was keep me here. Keep me in Blackistan. Keep me in this space. All it did was keep me stuck, kept me complacent, and kept me from moving. Where I could have just let them go. Let them all go and flourish with me and my daughter. I did not, because I wanted to drag everyone to the top with me. And to all of the mules here, sis, you cannot drag everyone to the top with you. Worry about yourself. Put yourself, and if you have children, put you and your daughters first. Drop them. I ain't gonna tell y'all this no more, but I am gonna tell you every time. Take that son to his father. Take that son and his father. Listen to Miss Sophia now. Miss Sophia said a girl child ain't safe with a bunch of men. Take your daughter with you. Take your son to his father and let everything else go. Let everything else go. Find the security that you need, and finding your own self-worth to be okay with being alone. To be okay with being alone. I do something now I never did. 11 o'clock now. From 11 to 9 a.m. my phone is on Do Not Disturb. Do not call me. It's one phone call that can get through to me between those hours. That's my daughter. You can't call me after 11 o'clock no more. I ain't taking no calls. It's a form of self-care. It's a form of self-care. If you are a mule and you're listening to this, take some of my advices. Take some of my advices as a mule, as a woman who was raised by a mule. My mother, she didn't really do too much mammying, and we'll get onto what a mammy is and in the mammy video. But right now we're talking about mules, and mules are women who are sacrificing themselves for their family and the black community. Not necessarily the black community, but definitely for their family. And that family can include their boyfriends and husbands, right? Those are women that play the back and let him, let him just do nothing. That's what they do. I have an aunt, also a mule. She was married into my family. My uncle was lazy. Listen to this. My aunt Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. Graduated from an Ivy League college. She graduated from an Ivy League college. My uncle went to one of the services and could not make it. Could not make the cut. I had 4 uncles. 3 of them went to the service. But this uncle couldn't even make it in the fucking service. At the bare minimum, black men need to go to the fucking army, the army, the Navy, and the Air Force. And each and one of my uncles went to the army. One was in the army, one was in the Navy, and one was in the Air Force. In the very least, that's what black men can do. I mean it. If you got sons, I'm telling you, send his ass to the fucking army, send his ass to the fucking Navy, and send his ass to the fucking Air Force. In the very least, that is what you can get your sons to do. And my grandmother must have knew that, because she sent the sons onto the services where they chose to go. However it happened, that's what happened. And my one uncle, he couldn't, right? This uncle had a thing for white women. They all had a thing for white women, right? Only one really had the guts, the gall, and the audacity to not marry a black woman, right? But he so that uncle, he didn't marry a black woman. He had a couple Filipino families. You know, he was in the I think that this uncle, my favorite uncle, was in the Air Force. This uncle must have been in the Navy, maybe. I don't fucking know. But yeah, he married a non-black woman, and that's a story we're gonna talk about another day. But the other 2 uncles, one ended up being in the army, and he ended up not being fully here as far as his mental health. And then my favorite uncle married a black woman. He wasn't no motherfucking unicorn. I ain't gonna tell you that. He wasn't no motherfucking unicorn. Y'all ain't gonna listen. That's what you're not gonna find over here. What you're not gonna find over here is unicorns. I ain't got no unicorn talk. I ain't got no. What I'm gonna say about my uncle is he was a good uncle. Okay? Now, it's a woman somewhere right now, but probably don't think that much of him. But I'm telling you, for me, he was a good uncle, and that's all I got, right? I ain't got no unicorns over here. But I'm talking about the uncle that married the wife that had the degree from an Ivy League college. Well, he felt like his wife should not work. This was a woman with the Ivy League education now. She should not work, and she didn't. He became a horrible gambler, lost houses that they had. They ended up living inside of a house that was like ran down. She ended up raising her children inside the ghetto, shot from her children from the thrift store. I mean, this woman lived a horrible life muling for her husband. This woman lived a horrible life muling for her husband, and I let my aunts know. They hate to hear it, but they hate to hear me talk about their brother. But I let my aunts know he ruined my aunt's life. Like, she should have married better. She should have never married him. She should have never muled for him. She should have never been his fucking service dog. But that was what she was. And it's just these women are not very harmful to other women. They just a great harm to themselves. They're just a great harm to themselves. So if you a black woman here and you're muling, and anyway, if you're muling for your man, you know, if you're muling for your man and he a black man, girl, toss him in the trash. I'm telling you, that ain't it. That ain't it. But sometimes black women mule for non-black men, right? Because when you have the spirit, when you have that spirit of low vibrating, self-loathing, that spirit that just is you know, it's just low vibrating. Men pick up on it. It does not matter if he's white, if he's black, if he's Asian, if, you know, they pick up on that, because they exist there. They already there. So the overwhelming black men exist there. I'm going to stop saying the overwhelming majority. I'm going to stop saying black men exist in this lower vibrating state, right? But some non-black men exist there. So if you are, if that's how you feel, if you are self-loathing and you cannot find the worth within yourself, even if you are to start dating out, even if you are to start open up your options, you're still going to be attracting men that exist in that low state. That's why a moment alone is necessary. That's why I needed a moment alone. I have to, and am currently and have started to find the worth in myself. I am beginning to find out. I'm beginning to find out my worth as a woman who ain't got to give. To have people be around me. And if you are a mule, that's where you have to start at, my dear. Start in finding worth in yourself that is not connected to other people. What's great about you? If nobody ever said it, if nobody ever told you, what's great about you? What would you say? Start doing loving things for yourself. One of the things I started doing this years ago, but as I started to buy myself the things that I wanted, that I couldn't because I was so busy helping out everybody else, I started to write love notes in them. You know, when you buy something from a luxury store, even shit, if you buy something from Amazon, they let you write a note, right? I started to write myself notes. Every time I order something, if I order myself a new bag, I write myself a note. If I order myself shoes, I write myself a note. Shit, if I order a book off of Amazon, I write myself a note, a loving note, praying you deserve this all along. Thank you for surviving. Thanks for getting us here. You're brilliant. May this book add to your brilliance. I started writing myself self-love notes all the time. If nothing else, when you at home and you ordering off Amazon, because that's one thing that we like to do, waste our money on Amazon. You know, that's a form of healing. That's a form of therapy. Start writing notes, and I save them. I save my notes that I write to myself. When I gotta question myself because ain't nobody calling, because I ain't giving nobody shit, so I ain't need for nobody to call. My phone don't even ring. Only time my phone go off is when one of them zaddies want a message. You know, when one of them zaddies want a message, I might get a message. Or one of them want to be seen, I might get a message. You know, other than that, my phone don't even ring because my family don't even call me no more. I ain't giving out shit. I ain't giving out shit, so they don't even call me no more. And on the days that's feeling very lonely, I go to my box of notes that I done sent myself over the last years. When I ordered a candle, I wrote a note in that. When I order my candles from Bath and Body Works when they be $10 at Christmas time, I wrote a note in that, a loving note. And when I'm feeling away, when I'm not feeling at my best, you know, I go in my little box of notes and I read the notes to myself. Start doing that. So this is how those videos are gonna go. I'm gonna, not only do I want these videos, these mules, Mammy, and pick me videos, not only do I want to tell you what they look like, what a mule looks like, or what a mammy looks like, or I want you to be able to see it in yourself, and I want you to be able to date it. I want you to be able to date it. My advices for mules are going to be the most intimate, because these are things that I have done for myself. But most black women got a little bit of everything in them. You know, for the most part, I've been muling around this bitch. For the most part, in Blackistan, I've been muling. But there might have been a day that I was a pick-me. There might have been a day that I was a mammy. And I'm going to give you my advices on how I did them. How I did them bitches, because I don't need them. How I did them bitches, and I don't need them. So that you can be able to look in the mirror and get up out of you. Get up out of you. I think that's it for mules. I love you guys. I'll be back later in the week with nannies. You know, I ain't had too much mammy. I ain't had too much mammy, but I know a plenty of mammies. So we all know plenty of mammies, and I want you to also be able how to recognize. I also want you to be able to know how to recognize Mammyism in other black women, because Mammies are very harmful. Yeah, Mammies are very harmful, and pick-me's are the most dangerous of them all. So I want you to be able to first did it in your own self, and then I want you to be able to recognize it in other women and know to stay away from them. Okay? Love you guys so much. Happy you are here. If you got that message yesterday and you felt like it was to you and I was fucking cursing you, sis, what I need you to do is stop. What I need you to do is stop. When I said repent, I meant stop causing black women harm. Stop it. Don't do it no more. Don't. And at about 2000, I'ma say, once I started on myself, I've always been into the esoterics. I've been practicing hoodoo for the last, really practicing. I've been practicing it since 2016. When I say practicing, I mean no longer studying the books, because I read books, but to start practicing, I started practicing in 2016. In about 2017, 2018, I made a commitment to do no harm to black women. I made a commitment to do no harm to black women. And if you listened to that video yesterday and you felt like I was talking to you, if you felt like it, the first thing you need to do is be conscious about the harms that you do to black women, and stop. Do cause black women no harm. In the very least, if you can't help, sure don't do them no harm. Okay? And I'm not talking about doing what's just to a black woman who is causing other black women and children harm. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about black women that's minding their business. Like, just stop causing black women harm. Stop being hateful. Stop being vindictive towards black women. Stop always competing with black women for male attention. Just stop. Stop. As I said, the first thing that black women do to make sure that she is not and so that this curse does not, befall on her, is that she starts to be good to herself. And that's what No Longer Muling is about. Mule no more. I think I might name this video Mule No More. So the first thing that you do is you be loving and kind to yourself. You be loving and kind to yourself, and that's an honor to the mother, as I've told you. And second of all, causing no harm to no other black woman. Causing no harm to no other black woman. I'm gonna go now. I'm almost at 45 minutes. And I know that it might be a little hard to listen to videos that are longer. So I'm trying to, I don't know. Sometimes I might be long, sometimes I might not. I don't know. So, but this one looks like it's going to be about 45 minutes long. Listen to it on your subway ride. Shit. Play it in your car as you drive to work and drive home. But that's my commentary on Mule no more, sis. That shit is for the birds. That shit is for the birds, and the only person that you are harming is yourself. That's who you're killing. You're killing yourself. You're not gonna live to see 50. Either you're not gonna live to see 50 muling, or you stop living anyway. So you might as well be dead. You might as well be dead. In my reflections of my life, I did what I had to do as a mother, but as far as living, I stopped living. And I owe myself for that. And if you are a mule, you owe yourself, sis. Stop it. Be okay with being alone. Find your self-worth outside of others. Deem your own self worthy and start living again. Okay? Love you guys.